as you guys saw, just went out and picked up a new air compressor. No matter where you buy it from, it's kind of the same compressor, it's just a different color. All the big box stores in my area sell a version of this. When you look at the spec sheets, they're all almost exactly the same. And this one just happened to be on sale this weekend, so I decided to go out and pick it up. Currently, I just got it in the shop, letting it warm up. It was like exactly 0 degrees this morning, and it was snowing out, so when I brought it home, it was all kind of covered in snow and a little bit wet and everything, so I've just been letting it dry out for about half a day here. It's about 50 degrees in the shop now, so went out and picked up everything that I need to install it, because it really doesn't come with anything as far as installing it. It doesn't come with wire or plugs, anything like that, any of the fittings to actually install an airline or anything like that. So it's pretty much just a blank canvas. You can do whatever you want with it as far as configuring it goes. The wiring looks fairly simple. It's 2 lines and a ground, so 3 wires total. I really don't think that you can screw this up, but as always, if you're going to try it yourself, make sure you know what you're doing. So what I'm going to do is, the compressor is going right there in that open space, and I'm just going to, I bought a plug end and some 10-3 wire, and I'm just going to wire a cord to the motor on the compressor, and then we're just going to plug it in right there. But first thing I got to do is flip those on and make sure I've got voltage at them, which I'm pretty sure that I do. I don't know why I wouldn't. I was checking out the wiring earlier today, and it all looks pretty sound. So I'm going to grab my meter real quick and check those, and then we'll get this wired up and run it through the break-in procedure. Alright, so I have the cover off of that outlet there. Got the breaker flipped on. We're just going to see what we have for power there. If I'm thinking about this right, there should be 120 volts at each one of those poles, and then obviously that's your ground there in the middle. So yeah, I guess if that all checks out, and we have 120 on each side, 120 is 240, which is what we need to run the compressor. So yeah, we'll check that out, and if that looks good, we will go ahead and continue with wiring the compressor. So we got 120 volts there, and looks like 119, 120 there. So we should be good to go. So as far as the materials that I need to do to install this, I guess if you're going right into your breaker box and just wiring it, right to a breaker for power, you could have just went with a 10 gauge wire. I'm sure you could maybe get by with 12, but I decided to use 10 just to be sure, and 15 feet was more than enough. Since I already have those outlets there, I went ahead and bought a plug. So we'll just wire this directly to the power switch on the compressor, wire the other end of this plug, and then we should be able to just plug it in and turn it on. Alright, so there's what your wiring looks like. Really can't get much more simple than that. Got your ground wire going to your ground screw, and then your line 1 and line 2 coming in. I was going to route the wires down through there, but this 10 gauge wire is so stiff, it just worked out better going this way. So that's where I ended up with the wire. I think I'm going to probably just measure it out over there and see how much I need to just run along the wall to get to that plug. It's not going to be much, but yeah, I'll get that measured, and then we'll wire the plug onto the end of here, and we should be all good to go. Alright, there we go. There's the inside of my plug wiring. Again, can't really get much simpler than that. Got your 2 lines and your ground. Should be all ready to cap this off, plug it in, and turn it on. Alright, time to fire it up and break it in. As you can see, got nothing hooked up to the tank, so that's just open right now. That's what the manual says, just leave it open, let it run for a half an hour. I have the drain closed in the bottom of the tank right now because I have the inside of it coated with WD-40 and I want that to kind of circulate a little bit. I just do that as kind of like a rust proofing thing for the inside of the tank, just to hopefully make it last a little bit longer, even though obviously I do plan on draining it every day. But yeah, everything should be good to go here. Like I said, I'm going to just kind of blip the on switch real quick, make sure that the motor is rotating in the correct direction, and then after that we'll just let her eat for a half an hour. Here we go. Breakers on. Hopefully this doesn't burst into flames. Not smell anything weird yet. This should be rotating. Which way? Left there. Yep, she's moving in the right direction. So we should be good. I guess we'll fire her up and let her go. Alright, so there's a half an hour. Seems like it's running just fine. Not making any weird noises or anything like that, so I think we're good. For now, I think I'm actually going to leave it on the pallet that it came in on. I'm going to have to figure something out as far as anchoring it or anti-vibration. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of feel like this pallet itself is pretty stable, and I mean, it's going to be something as far as anti-vibration goes, so it's better than just sitting it right on the concrete for now. So until I get some concrete anchors or figure out what I'm going to do there, I think I'm just going to leave it where it's at. And then I guess now we'll get it slid over into its spot there, and we'll pipe it and see if it builds pressure. Alright, so I've been at this for a few hours now and realized that I've kind of been being an idiot. Big surprise there. So I originally wanted to put the compressor over here, kind of where, you know, I've got all my my air reel and where the old compressor is at and everything. But I was like, well, I don't really want to run, you know, wiring, and I've already got these 230 volt outlets over here, so why not just put it over here? So I've been trying to make room for it and everything else, and I was like, all of a sudden it clicked, like, hey, why don't you just move the wiring, you know, instead of routing it up and over the door, just route it up over in the service door and bring it down over here. There's still plenty of wire there, so that's what I'm going to be doing now. It's the next day anyway, so it's, you know, warmed up to about -5 outside, and it's cold as hell in here again, so I'm going to let the Modine do its thing, warm it up a little bit, clean up a little bit of the mess that I got going. And the other issue I'm having is the floor right here. The concrete is just horrible. You know, it looks like someone poured it when they were drunk. And it's slightly better over here. Not much better, but a little bit better. So we're going to try and get this moved from there to over here. And I mean, I'm probably a little bit more concerned about, or a little bit too concerned about getting it level. But I don't know, you know, the devil's in the details, so I want to try and get it as level as I can. And then I got to figure out, you know, the piping and everything, because that just looks weird, and I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that. But I think it's going to be a little bit easier to get that sorted out over here. And I'll probably be able to mount that regulator filter combo right to this support beam right here. Just got to make sure I have enough pipe and fittings. I think I do. I've got a lot of that stuff left over here. It's just all odds and ends and weird sizes, so I'm going to have to, you know, figure out. Thankfully I had enough there to go from the 3/4 out of the tank down to the 1/2 inch that feeds into the regulator, but I think I got enough fittings and stuff here. I should be able to figure something out. So I'm gonna get to work on moving this wiring, and we'll see where the day goes from there. Alright, so I've rerouted my 240 volt outlets. The amount of wire that was there was pretty much just about perfect. This guy's kind of just hanging out right there right now. I don't really have a use for that one, but I figured I might as well leave it wired up. So it's just, it's temporary home for now. Yeah, the floor is much more level over here. I don't get the rocking back and forth when the compressor kicks on. Got my regulator and filter piped. Double checked all my joints. I don't have any leaks right now. The drain on the bottom of the compressor was open slightly, and I was chasing that around for a while because I could hear it and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from, and then finally I figured out it was the drain. But like I said, checked the rest of my joints up here. Those are all good. No leaks there. I'm not sure how I feel about this regulator yet. It's from Harbor Freight, so, you know, like anything with Harbor Freight, some stuff's hit and miss. But for the price, couldn't really pass it up. I think it was like 30 bucks. So we'll see how well it does, how long it lasts. I do like that it has a shutoff right there. I'm wondering if I should put a shutoff in between the tank and the regulator. It doesn't seem like it's, you know, I mean, like I said, I leak tested it. It doesn't seem like it's losing pressure, so I don't know if that's really necessary, but might be something that I do in the future just because. And then I kept the same, I guess, you know, the tri-chuck thing that I had going on with the other compressor. Because I really only have, you know, 2 feeds. I have my, like I said before, my line that runs across the shop that I use over there at the bench for, you know, dealing with small engines and stuff like that, cleaning things out, blowing things off. And then I got my hose reel here. I don't know if there's an issue. I mean, this comes out of the tank at 3/4 inch, and then I have it reduced down to 1/2 inch to get into the filter, and then it comes out as 1/4 inch line. Now, I don't really know of any other way to do that, so I guess that's the way that I'm going to run it for now. Moving on to the wiring for this thing, I think I've touched on it once or twice already, but it's so simple that, I mean, you know, again, if you're a guy with tools and access to the internet, you can figure it out. As always, if you're uncomfortable with what you're doing, you know, hire someone who's not uncomfortable and gets paid to do it. For me, I just couldn't see hiring an electrician to do this, but I mean, 240 volts is 240 volts. That's going to bite you pretty hard if you do something stupid. So can't say it enough. If you're uncomfortable with it, just don't do it and get somebody who's not uncomfortable with it. But like I said, it is pretty simple. It was easy enough for me to figure out. I was extremely surprised at how hot this gets when it's running. I mean, it makes sense. There's warnings all over it telling you not to touch, you know, the parts that get hot. It's in the manual. And I guess, you know, from a physics standpoint, it's compressing a fluid, so it's, or I guess, you know, a gas, however you want to look at it, which is obviously going to raise the temperature of it. So, I mean, the compressor head itself gets way hot. The top of the tank gets pretty warm. But the first time I ran it and actually closed off the tank to build pressure, the paint on the compressor head itself was kind of smoking a little bit. I'm sure it was just baking in there. At first I got kind of worried about it, and I was like, oh shoot, was there not oil in it? But obviously there's oil in it. So all in all, this is a success. This is the way I have it set up for now. Again, if you guys have any better ideas for my regulator setup there, please let me know. I'm always looking for ways to improve that. But for now, I'm pretty excited to have this. I've always wanted a large compressor like this to run my air tools. It's going to make a lot of things easier that I want to do to both of the trucks. So I guess once it warms up a little bit and it decides to get above freezing, or I should say above 0 degrees Fahrenheit, I want to spend some more time out here, you know, without getting frostbite, and actually get some more stuff done. But for now, this little guy is going to head in the house. I got some home renovation projects, things to do in there that I'm going to use that for. Anyway, yeah, that's there she is, all installed. Made in the USA with parts from China. So we'll see how long this lasts. But as always, any questions, feel free to drop a comment or suggestions. Throw them down in the comments. Let me know what I did wrong, what you would change if you were doing it. So I guess that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.